Well, it's a pleasure now to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Saleh Bahamdan, who is the CEO of Sipchem, and I'd like to welcome him up to the stage. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I first start by really thanking GBCA for giving me this opportunity. I'm very honored to be here, and I thank Dr. Saadoun for his kind support. And I'm really pleased also to see today Dr. Romhi, a minister that he really attended our gathering, and that was really a great support. I hope that his first wife is not jealous, and that he kept her with WhatsApp messages that keep her away from his interfering with him. And I also would like to really appreciate Dr. Saadoun and his team for really setting up a very impressive gathering as usual, and this year is really a special one for us. Before I start my presentation, last night I was going over my presentation, and I went through the presentation, and I had a thought, what drove Sipchem to be where we are today? What kind of really a driver that we have? And I looked at the two companies, Sahara and Sipchem, the 35 years of excellent operation results, but they still wanted to join. Both are listed company, they were doing good, but I felt, okay, what was really the main driver? And I end up by concluding that it is really the leaders. Leader make the change. And when you have a leader that he is visionary and he knows the market, I'm sure success is the destination. And in 1999, this leader has formed the Saudi International Company, focused on chemicals with the specialty on methanol and its derivatives. He watched this company, has some challenges, succeeded in removing those challenges, but the success. But for him, the success is not really a destination. It is really a journey. And in 2004, he realized that, the petrochemical need another sector. So he formed Sahara Petrochemical, focusing on polymer. And with a strategic project or product that is really the polypropylene and polyethylene. And he watched also this company and also kept the same thing. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. So he was watching the business, he was watching how the business is going, and then realizing that, the stronger we is better than the weak I and the you. And that's what drove the two companies to try to merge in 2013. In 2014, the merge was put on hold for a reason beyond the control of the two companies. However, this leader, he believed in the stronger we than the weaker I and you. And he asked those companies to cooperate without a legal entity, just cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, the cooperation that happened between those two companies saved them 20 million Saudi riyal. I wish it was billion, but it is only millions. Only cooperating for three initiatives. Three initiatives made 20 million Saudi riyal of saving. This really gave the momentum for this leader and the companies really to go and work on the merge. Alhamdulillah, we started the merge in 2018 with this big support from the CMA, the ministries, and Alhamdulillah, in 2019, the merge had been successfully made. And we are today one company. We owe all of that to our leader, His Excellency Sheikh Abdul Aziz Al-Zamil, whom we lost on 6 October 2019. This, His Excellency is a legend, not only for Sipchem, but for the whole industry of Saudi Arabia. And I'm sure his direction, his vision will continue with us for the rest of our life. Now, my presentation is only three parts. The market, I'm sure you have overwhelmed with information, so I'll not go much there. The second is really I'll try to take you more behind the merge of Sipchem. And the last one is really how we are doing about the 220 agenda. To start with, and I do want to take much, as I said, we heard a lot, but I'm sure you realize that the social and environmental and the economic landscape is changing in the global, and GCC is not an exception. We have seen also the impact of the growing demand and also the supply constraints. That's also put a constraint in our economy and our sector of business. And the answer is, what are we going to do about it? We know that, we have heard it a lot. We have heard it yesterday, and we have been hearing it every year, that there is a change into our market. I remember when I was in engineering, we had the daily meeting with manufacturing. And manufacturing or operation, they will always complain about that problem, and they say engineering are looking at it. And the director will say, stop looking at it, do something. And here in our industry, I think we need to stop hearing and looking at the problem. We really need to do something about it. And doing about this is we are together, we will be able to really face those challenges and do more if we really do the math. If you look at the global, what are they doing? If everybody, what is he doing with the merge and acquisition? You will see in America, there is consolidation, there is acquisition. In Europe, there is consolidation. However, in Asia as well as in the Middle East, not much. As a matter of fact, people are going out. That is really a concern for all of us. Not only that, but we know the global challenges. We know that there is the petrochemical of US is really coming to our areas. And that is a problem. We know that, the shale gas is coming. And we also know that this is the trade war that is happening between US and China is really hurting us. But the question is also, what are we doing about that? Knowing also that, our region is not free of trouble. The diminishing feedstock, also some of our companies are in trouble. Again, the question is, we are hearing it every day, and we're going to hear it time unless we do something about it. What did Sipchem did? I'll take you, if you look at how we really measure or how we really value partnership, you'll see that there is commitment, there is frequency, and there is trust, and all scored differently as long as you go with the partnership. If you look at those partnerships, you'll see a joint venture, you'll see, let's say, some of cooperation, all of that. But what is really the strategic partnership that will help you succeed into your business? If you look at this strategic partnership, it's actually three elements, ranked high. The high trust, the high frequency, and the high commitment. And that is really will describe the strategic relationship. This is what Sipchem has done. We have worked on this strategic joint, I will say, the partnership in those three elements. We want to make sure that, when we commit, we commit high. We trust each other, and this is the area that His Excellency Ahmed Al-Awhali and myself, when we started setting up the merger. By doing so, the intention is really to capture value. And the capture value will really counted on two things. One is really reduced cost, and also in the improvement of performance. That is the value creation, and this is exactly what was the target for Sipchem. Now, if we reach there, and definitely the other thing is really how we collectively build the critical mass. This is the enabler. And ladies and gentlemen, this critical mass is all of us who are here. How can we really be together? We come here every year, we attend networks, we talk, and we share experience, we share information, but what we do after we leave from here? not much. And I think the message really, the reaction what we want to do is really, let's go out from here later on and make sure that we still communicate, we still build the critical mass, and it's here, it is available. We have the financial community, we have also the support from our ministries, we have also the CMA, the capital market is there, legal community there, all are available for us to build together the critical mass. For Sipchem, there are 3 elements I'll tell you now. The timeline. Timeline is only 2 parts for us. The first one is really the completion of the share exchange. This is, to me, was really a mechanics. You really do the due diligence of the 2 companies. You go with the reporting, you submit your report, you review it with CMA, you present it to the board, you get the AGM approval. Alhamdulillah, we got the AGM approval on 16th of March. So that is the part on really the share exchange. For the integration, that is really what I feel is the management. The load in the management is really how do we do integration. Alhamdulillah, in day 1 was successfully done, and we achieved the completion of the integration by the day 1 itself. What did we do to really achieve this? We really had to do a bold decision. Mr. Ahmed Al-Awali and myself, we sat together, we were aligned. And I know for sure, there are lots of mergers that did not succeed because the CEO were not aligned, they were not collaborating. But we have done it because we know that the merge is really a value to both companies. We also had to give a strong focus on the culture that we have to manage the fully integrated target operating module. This is really the setup of the organization even before we completed the merge that was done ahead of time. We have also, we made a bold decision that we want to early nomination of level 1 of the executive, and that was done through interview. I interviewed Sipchem guys, Mr. Al-Awali, he interviewed Sahara, and we together, we selected the leaders for the new organization. System focus from IT, from HR was one of the driver also, but also the appointment of the advisor themselves. For sure, if we do that, we establish the fundamental of the merge. That was the key element of enabler that helped us to really achieve where we are today. This is not for lunch yet, but for sure, there is a question to all of us, If you really want to nutrition the partnership, what comes first, logic or principle? And that's a question that we have to deal with from the beginning. And I've seen lots of hands pointing to not the chicken, but the principles, and that's correct. That we made the principle at the beginning of this journey. What are the principles? The principle we set for ourselves that is, this merge, as I said, it is 2 successful companies. That means the merge of equal was the main fundamental of our journey of merge. In the deal transaction, we made 6 elements of this, and this was really signed into the MOU and also in the integration agreement. For me and Ahmed, whenever one of us will divert, those principles put us back into really the merge of equal concept from the exchange ratio, from the board, from the leadership selection, the branding, the headquarters, as well the executive management. Those 6 elements were kept in our mind, in our agreement, and that what really helped us to make sure that, the merge goes on schedule and without diversion from this merge. For example, in the board, which is important for the investor, we made sure that, half of the new company board comes from Sahara and half from Sipchem stays there. The other half of Sipchem gone to Sahara. This is to ensure that there is continuity on the direction of the board. For example, also the branding, we took some from Sahara and some from Sipchem, and that is really the merge of equal that we have kept. So this is for the transaction deal. For the integration, also we kept the same. We kept the merge of equal concept, and as we have heard from Mr. Mahrougi, there is the culture that we need to work on. Culture of how to make sure that, everybody from the 2 organizations understand the concept of merge, understand what we are going about it. And that is by setting up some question, answering them that, the merge has value. And this really helped us to move from separate teams to really a fully integrated team. Working on the culture was one of, as I said, one of the heavy work that the organization has to do, or the management has to do, to ensure that, we get buy-in from everybody. Now, with that, we said also, okay, so we merged. What's next for us? We really had to set the organization with really a focus on the future. The merge has done. We are only one company now. So how we are doing to really to ensure that, the 2020 agenda will fulfill our dream of a successful merge. And that was for surely, when you start with that, for sure any company that does not value safety, it will not sustain. And our safety concept, or our belief in the safety concept, goes into everything. Goes into the safety of the people, the safety of the asset, the safety of our security of our plant, the safety of our environmental, and the safety of the health of our employees. We made sure that our employees, they go with a program of health check, with recommendation, with advisory from our doctor, and that really kept them in good health. And also it was appreciated by them because we care for them as we care for our asset. If you look at the manufacturing focus, that's really maximizing efficiency. We want to make sure that we have value to our organization, and that is to ensure that we use our asset to the most extent possible. Business excellency, for sure, that can have with establishing of integrated procedure system, and that helped us really to ensure that, when we operate our companies, we operate them with a high excellency. Integrated delivery, again, we have given promises to our people and to our investor, and made sure that, we kept them. When we did the cultural check, there was a requirement, or let's say there is a need for empowerment. And this empowerment was really put in our agenda, and that we are really ensuring that, the people are empowered to do the right action. Performance management, we have set KPIs for every leader and every organization with really scorecard that will be checked every month and ensure that, we are aligned with that. So this is our agenda for 2019. I'm sure it is equally important for everybody. Now here I really like to thank the CEOs of Jibka and others for really filling the survey that we sent them. It was a short survey, but I really thank them for really attending to it and sharing their information with us. And the survey was really very simple question: how are we doing? How is the business? How is the current business now? 55 of our leaders saying it is positive and it is possible to grow even more. We looked at also the structural issues that we are dealing with. They have about 20 of them. 5 is ranked, but those 5 we felt they are not into the power that we can change. For example, if you look at the demand growth of Asia, this is just a problem that we have to deal with, and we have to go around it. But the 2 other things, for example, the circular economy, I'm sure we can do something about it. For sure, the digitalization, we have been talking about it, but we are not doing about it. The issue is also there for the growth, the digitalization, and also the global partnership. One of the key elements that we have to do. 81% of the survey that says that 2 to 3 years the growth will come from the inorganic growth, but also in the next 5 years there will be issues also still supporting the growth by the feedstock advantage that we have. I see that we have only 50 seconds, so I need to rush. Here, let's go back to the school. I'm sure Dr. Sa'doun maybe will help me with putting the formula. But the formula for really reaching to a stage where we could face the global changes with really strength is really, as I said, establishing the fundamental, the principle that we put for ourselves. And that will compromise from really selecting the strategic partnership with the 3 elements: the trust, the frequency, the commitment. That, inshallah, will lead us to the capturing of the value. And when we do that, for sure, critical mass is really the answer for us to achieve really our position into the global game. Again, I repeat, the critical mass is not in the moon, it is here with us. If we really work together, inshallah, we achieve the success, and we will be in a journey that will achieve success after success. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate your attendance.